What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Khephren Thuram, because according to Pavan Massimo, a reputable journalist, Liverpool are ready to invest £45 million to buy Khephren Thuram from Nice, the defensive midfielder who can play, of course, box-to-box midfielder. He has been heavily linked with Liverpool last summer, but then we targeted, Caicedo, Lavia and then Ryan Gravenberch, but Liverpool are still great admirers of Khephren Thuram, and Liverpool have asked about the conditions of the deal in order to make this deal happen. We have asked Nice what they want, and also we have asked Khephren Thuram what kind of transfer fee, what kind of wages and salary he wants, and Liverpool are now seen as favorites for his signature. Khephren Thuram has a contract until 2025, but Nice are planning to sell him in 2024, so next year, because they don't want to lose him on a free transfer. Nice are of course not as rich as the Premier League clubs or even La Liga clubs, and according to CM.com, Liverpool FC are serious about signing Khephren Thuram. He's just 22 years old and he's a really powerhouse midfielder, really strong, robust midfielder with really good passing, really good tackling, and I think Liverpool are still searching for their out and out defensive midfielder signing, because in the absence of McAllister, Endo is playing there, but Endo is a backup defensive midfielder, and I think McAllister, even though he has done a great for Liverpool in terms of that defensive midfield slot, I think Liverpool need an upgrade in that position, and also that could enable McAllister to play further forward. And according to these journalists and news outlets, Liverpool have already contacted Khephren Thuram's representatives to talk about the deal, and in this video we will talk about the Champions League draw, we will talk about the aftermath of the Liverpool-Manchester United game and what Liverpool need to do to improve their form, their performances, in my opinion. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, and also please help me continue making these videos by supporting me via the thanks button below the video, or subscribe to my Patreon and you get even more content, added benefits. If you subscribe to a higher tier, you get so much career mode content, and thank you so much for your awesome support. And Khephren Thuram has recently also talked about Liverpool, and he said that he was very flattered by him getting linked to Liverpool, but of course when the deal didn't materialize and didn't happen, he was happy to continue at Nice, who are having a pretty good season. Defensively, Nice have been absolutely amazing. They haven't conceded for a run of 737 minutes in the French league, which is really remarkable. They lost a couple of games recently, but still that run with so many clean sheets, they kept 7 or 8 clean sheets in a row, is really remarkable, and Khephren Thuram was a big part of that. He was the player shielding the defense in the midfield, so Liverpool could do with a player like him, in my opinion. And Khephren Thuram revealed that while he was flattered by the Liverpool transfer links in the summer, he was happy to stay at Nice and make further progress as a player. Speaking to reporters, Khephren Thuram said, "I think I've started the season well. The team has of course had a very good start to the season. I've developed aspects of my game. Regarding what happened in the transfer window, I decided to stay. I wanted to continue to progress at Nice and progress as a player at this club. Honestly, it made me happy to be linked with all these clubs, left, right and center. It shows I'm doing the right things, and as I said, I knew I wanted to stay here. But I think if Liverpool were putting in a serious bid, Khephren Thuram wouldn't think twice about leaving Nice and going to Liverpool, because you get a much bigger salary, you can get involved in the title race, you will play Champions League football next season. At Nice there is no guarantee of that, and just all round Liverpool are just a much bigger club." And for the longest time during the summer it looked like Liverpool was about to sign Khephren Thuram, because we had so many links to him in the summer transfer window. It was almost inevitable that Liverpool would sign him, but then out of the blue we realized that Dominic Szoboszlai for 60 million is available, and other clubs wanted him, Newcastle wanted him, and the Liverpool scouts suddenly realized, hey, Szoboszlai is a world-class player in the making. We snapped him up, and then we went for other transfer targets. Khephren Thuram is not like a classic out-and-out defensive midfielder, but I think he has a bigger ceiling than Endo. Right now, Endo is a more experienced player, of course, because he's like 8 years older than Khephren Thuram, but Khephren Thuram has a higher ceiling. I think his potential is much bigger, and Liverpool like to sign players who can play in multiple positions, and Khephren Thuram can be played in the defensive midfield role. He can play as a left-sided midfielder, as a right-sided midfielder, as a box-to-box midfielder. He can even play as an attacking midfielder as well. And Liverpool's interest in Thuram indicates a clear strategy to strengthen the Liverpool squad and boost Liverpool's title bid. Despite leading the Premier League before the Man United game, the club is not resting on its laurels. It is actively seeking new talent to enhance its performance, especially considering recent injuries, and also Thiago and Bajcetic are still not back to full fitness, and with Thiago leaving the club, Bajcetic being injury prone, also Gravenberch, Curtis Jones had their small niggles, and now McAllister is injured. I think Liverpool would do well to sign another defensive midfielder, and I think Liverpool would definitely sign a defensive midfielder in the summer transfer window anyway, so why not bring that transfer forward and sign this defensive midfielder earlier? The performances have been pretty average, the results have been fantastic, so I think over-the-top criticism from Liverpool fans is not really justified, because Liverpool are not playing their best football, they are not in top form, and yet we have won our Europa League group, we sit second in the Premier League table. The title is in our hands in terms of if we beat Arsenal, we can go top, and we will also play Arsenal 3 times in the space of like 5 or 6 weeks, twice in the Premier League, home and away, and once in the FA Cup as well. So those 3 games will shape Liverpool's season. And also Liverpool, when they hit top form, when they improve, when their injuries heal, and when their injured players come back, inevitably Liverpool will play better, Liverpool will play in a more Liverpool kind of way. And then we can be very optimistic, I think, about the season. Because imagine if Liverpool, in a bad run of form, I mean a bad run of performances, not bad run of form, bad run of performances, we are still within touching distance of being top of the Premier League table. And also we are still in all competitions. We are 1 game away from reaching the League Cup semi-finals. We are already in the last 16 of the Europa League. And now let's talk about the Champions League draw. The tie that stands out is the Napoli-Barcelona tie, and also Inter Milan will play Atletico Madrid. That will be really tasty. Paris Saint-Germain will play Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad are in really great form, and PSG haven't been convincing and consistent this season, at least not in the Champions League. Leipzig will play Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will go through in that one. I think Inter will knock Atletico out. PSG, I'm not even sure they will knock Real Sociedad out, because Real Sociedad are a rock solid team. Arsenal got a very good draw. They will play Porto. Dortmund will play PSV Eindhoven. Dortmund are not in great form, so that's probably they are still favorites, but that's not a foregone conclusion. Bayern Munich will probably knock Lazio out because they are just a much better team. And Manchester City, for the 4th time in a row, get a really, really easy draw in the Champions League last 16. They got Sporting previously, Leipzig and Borussia Mönchengladbach in the past 4 seasons. So Copenhagen, Sporting Lisbon, Borussia Mönchengladbach and RB Leipzig, there are very, very easy draws for Manchester City. The inevitable question, of course, does Man City bribe the UEFA officials? Probably, because they have unlimited amounts of money. So what do you think about the Champions League draw? The Europa League draw, of course, it doesn't affect Liverpool, because we will play the winner of one of the ties of the Europa League 2nd place team and Champions League 3rd place team drawn together. So I will watch that draw, of course, with great interest. And I also want to tell you guys that Liverpool have the 3rd most points after 17 games in the past 5 seasons. So of course in the title winning season 2019-20 we got to 49 points, which was just absolutely unprecedented. We only got 1 draw and we won all of our rest of the games, I think, for the first 23 game weeks, which I think never will be repeated or done by anybody else. But in the 2021-22 season, when we finished on I think 93 points or 92 points, and we finished second behind Man City, we got 40 points. This time we have 38 points, so we are on course to potentially finish again with around 90 point season. So I think Liverpool are doing remarkably well, considering that we have completely revamped and rebuilt our midfield. But yes, it was a bad performance and a bad game from Liverpool. Very, very few really good attacking plays, really good attacking patterns of play, so many bad final passes, the decision making, the instances of poor control was there, and also sometimes we shot when we should have passed, sometimes we passed when we should have shot. But still, Liverpool probably still should have and could have won the game, because we still had 34 shots. If you are playing very poorly, you don't get 34 shots against Manchester United. So Liverpool still put in a pretty okay performance, but I think we could have done so much better. The problem is, apart from Mo Salah, none of our forwards are really in form, and that's always a problem. They are very cold. Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota is out injured, but Gakpo, they are all not in goal-scoring form. Arsenal should be a much better game to watch, because Arsenal will attack Liverpool much more. They will just not sit back and soak up the pressure. Liverpool should get more opportunities to counter-attack. We shouldn't just play against a low-block defense. So hopefully the players will step up, and they need to improve their game. It needs to be faster, it needs to be sharper, and we just need to play more in a classic Liverpool kind of way. But as I said, the season is still there, it's all to play for. Liverpool just can't keep relying on Mo Salah for goals and assists. We need to ensure that our forwards score and assist more. We need to get them back into form. So hopefully against West Ham we will see other players step up and start scoring goals. Jurgen Klopp said, we have to make sure we don't make any negatives out of it. We are exactly where we belong because of the performances we had. Now we are in a situation where you are really disappointed when you draw against Man United. That's a bit strange, but that's how it is. And I mean, if I was offered this before the season, I would have taken it with both hands. Liverpool being 1 point off the top with game against Arsenal coming up at Anfield. But you have to go back to the 3-0 win against Brentford 5 weeks ago, when the last time one of the other forwards other than Mo Salah scored in the Premier League. And it was Diogo Jota, who is now injured. Even though Jota missed the last 6 matches with a hamstring injury, Jota is still Liverpool's second top scorer this season, with 8 goals in all competitions. And that's worrying that none of Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo grasps this chance that Jota is out injured. And Jota has been badly missed. I think he is our best mid finisher behind Mo Salah. And when Jota is injured, we must rely on Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. But as I said, they are not getting a great goal-scoring season this season, even though Darwin Núñez started the season in very, very promising form. And when he scored 2 goals as a substitute against Newcastle, everybody thought this is Darwin Núñez's season. He will click into gear and he will start scoring goals regularly. But he hits a 10-game goal drought. This is now his 10th game where Darwin Núñez hasn't scored. And he never looked like scoring against Man United, really. He wasn't convincing. Yes, he still contributes. He gets assists, he's involved in the play. But we need a lot more from a player who cost 85 million pounds. His work ethic is still there, but he needs to start taking his chances. He needs to start scoring goals, because you can't win the title with just one player scoring goals regularly and the others are not. So that's not a recipe for success. Arsenal also are sharing the goals around. They don't have one player who is like scoring 25-30 goals a season, but at least they have Saka, Ødegaard, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, who can all score on any day. Liverpool need to get back into that form where on any day Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, Gakpo, Jota or Salah can score. I mean, on paper we have one of the best attacks in the league, but the strikers, the attackers are misfiring at the moment, and that's not really a good sign. So let me know, how do you see the season unfolding? I'm still quite optimistic and I'm still happy with the Liverpool season so far as a whole. Overall, we need to look past the Man United game and look at the big picture. It's all about what Liverpool does against Arsenal at Anfield in the Premier League, and it's all about what we do against Newcastle. If we beat Arsenal, we go top. If we beat Newcastle, we cement our place in the at the top. But we need to do it because Aston Villa will play Sheffield United at home. They will probably win that. So Aston Villa will be probably top of the Premier League by the time the Liverpool-Arsenal games comes around. So I'm really looking forward to that game, and let's beat Arsenal and let's see what happens after that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a lovely day. See you later. Goodbye.